right, so I think we can now start. Can you please type yes, yes, yes if you can hear me? And if my deck is visible in your end, type yes. Hello everyone, how are you guys? All right, okay. All right, so great day. It's me again, Tin, and welcome to another exciting Facebook Live session brought to you by iPass Processing Review and Mentoring Academy. All right. Okay. So just let me know if there's problem. Okay, on my end, so that yes. Okay. I can or I will try to enter the Zoom. All right. All right. Okay. I think there's a bit of delay on my end here on Facebook because right now we're using Zoom. Okay. So I'm thrilled to be back with our amazing NCLEX community tonight. Okay, so I know many of you have been following our series, so thank you for always showing up and bringing, okay, the same NCLEX energy every single time. So go ahead and drop in the comments where are you watching from tonight. All right, so I always love seeing how far our future USRNs are tuning in. Okay, is it from the Philippines? Okay, you can drop your location here. Hello, Sam. Hi, Sam. Okay, Sam is from. Okay, okay, so you can drop your location here in our Facebook. Okay, chat box and in our Zoom chat box. Okay, Missy is here. Okay, Maridel is okay from Philippines. We're in Philippines, Maridel. Okay, Flord, from Singapore, Maribel from KSA, Blassie from Florida. Hi, how are you? All right. Okay. Sam is from Cotabato City. Okay, tuning in. Okay, from Cotabato City. Okay, in our Facebook Live. All right. Okay, so yes, you can drop your location here in our chat box. Okay, in Zoom and Facebook. Okay, so even those already based. Okay, in those already based in the US, you can drop your location there. Okay. All right. So now let's talk about one of the most high yield. Okay, most misunderstood and yet totally conquerable NCLEX topic. Okay, so our topic is all about your glucose regulation and diabetes management. Yes, okay, we will be talking about of your DKA, your HHNS, okay, your insulin safety, the glucose monitoring, and those tricky prioritization question that love to show up on your upcoming NCLEX RN examination. All right. Okay. So, but don't worry. Tonight, we're breaking every down. Okay, in a way that's clear, logical, and exactly how the NCLEX wants you to think. Okay. So, whether you're a current IPAS student or you're still exploring where to start your NCLEX journey. Okay. So, this session will give you a sneak peek of what our actual IPAS review looks and feel like. All right. Okay. Okay. So it's engaging, everything is simplified but yet comprehensive and focus on our focus is all about developing your clinical judgment. Okay. So just stay with me. Okay, just maximize our comment section in Facebook and in our Zoom. Okay, so just comment actively, and by the end of this session, you'll see that mastering glucose regulation is not just possible. Okay, so it will be easier for you, huh? Okay, so it's easy when you have the right guidance, all right? So let's dive in and, of course, conquer the glucose regulation like a pro. Can you please type yes? Okay, so just want to check, okay, if you guys are ready. Yes, yes, yes. All right, so let's start. Okay. All right, yes. Thank you so much for your response. All right. So let's start with the basic. Okay, so what you're seeing on the screen is the foundation of our today's topic, right? Okay, so this is the foundation of our today's topic, diabetes mellitus type 1 and type 2. And we all know that diabetes is what? This is a chronic condition that happens when the body, okay, either does not produce enough insulin or doesn't use insulin effectively. And remember, okay, insulin comes from our very good pancreas, all right, specifically from the beta cells of the islet of the lend your hands, all right? So now let's make that simple. Okay, so think of insulin, all right? Take note of that. Think of insulin as the key, all right, that unlocks the cell door so that the glucose can enter and be used for energy, right? Okay, so that is the main function of our insulin. I would like you to associate that on a lock and key method. Yes, we have a separate discussion of that one later, right? Okay, take note of that one. So meaning if there's no key or if the key doesn't fit, all right, so the glucose cannot get in or even the potassium, right? And it builds up in the blood. All right. So that's when you get what? Hyperglycemia or increase in the blood glucose level. And this is where the complication begin, right? And of course, this is a way for you to recall. All right. Think of not enough insulin. Okay, so that is your diabetes mellitus, no? And of course, if your diabetes mellitus is uncontrolled, okay, your diabetes mellitus is uncontrolled, what will happen? Anyone, what will happen? It can progress to acute complication. All right. And what are those acute complication? All right. Okay. So that is your trending DKA and HH and S, right? So which are both yes and Flex favorite emergencies. Okay. You might encounter that on your case study, right? Or your actual exam. Okay, so Teen, okay, what will happen if there is too much insulin, okay, in our body? Okay, too much insulin, okay, can lead to what we call hypoglycemia. Yes or no? Yes. Is it life-threatening? Yes, it is life-threatening if not corrected right away. All right, so between your hyperglycemia and hypoglycemia, okay, who is your priority? Answer your hypoglycemia. All right, so don't worry, we will dive okay on those comparison later. Okay, so now before we go deeper, let's warm up. Okay, your brains. Okay, so which type of diabetes? Okay, I have a question. All right, so which type of diabetes usually starts in the childhood? Okay, and always require a lifelong insulin therapy. Is it your type 1 or your type 2? You can type your answer here in our chat box. Okay. All right. Question. Which type of diabetes usually starts in the childhood or also known as juvenile onset? No? And always require a lifelong insulin therapy. Okay. Is that your type 1 or your type 2 diabetes mellitus? Type your answer here in our chat box. All right. So our okay, folks from okay, Zoom, okay, says it's your type 1. Of course, you're my student, right? My student. Okay, yes, okay, tama yan. Ha, oh. That is your type 1. Okay, we'll compare that later. Okay, so that is your type 1 diabetes mellitus. Okay, so your type 1 is insulin dependent, while your type 2 is insulin resistant. Okay, and that distinction will guide a lot of your NCLEX prioritization questions later on. Next. Okay, so this is just a brief overview. Okay. All right. So let's zoom in. Okay. And one of the most important organ in glucose regulation, our pancreas. Okay. So this is a little organ. Yes, this is a little organ. It may look simple, right? But actually, okay. So for me, it's the control center of your blood sugar. Okay. So inside our pancreas, we have a special hormone producing cells. Okay. So and each one has a different mission. Okay, so we have here the alpha cells. Okay, our alpha cells, okay, produce what? Glucagon. But take note of this one. But this is not the highlight today. All right. So our the glucagon in our body, okay, works to raise the blood sugar. Okay, whenever it drops too low. All right. So that is the okay, a simple function of your glucagon, okay, that is being produced by the alpha cells. Next, we have here, okay, wait, the delta cells, all right? So we have the delta cells, okay, that release somatostatin, all right? So the somatostatin, that's our body's natural moderator. So meaning waiting moderator, it keeps both the insulin and glucagon in check so things don't go okay overboard. Yes or no? Okay. And this is our topic okay for today, right? So the beta cells produce insulin, and this is the star player in diabetes. Okay, again, the insulin job is to lower the blood sugar by helping the glucose enter the cell where it can be used for energy. Yes or no? Yes. Right? Take note of that one. Next. All right. So I think we tackled this earlier. Okay. So how does the insulin work? Anyone here? Okay. Based on our recap earlier, no. Okay. So I mentioned that the insulin, okay, serves as the key to open up the cell receptor sites. Okay. So meaning, how does the insulin work? Anyone here? You can type your answer here in our chat box. Okay. Do not be shy. All right. Huwag kang mahiya dyan, uy. All right. Uh, anyone? Okay, so I would like you to think of this insulin. Okay, insulin, in. So meaning, okay, insulin puts sugar in to the cell. All right. Okay, insulin puts sugar into the cell. Take note of that one. So meaning teen, every time we eat, our blood sugar levels rise. Yes. So meaning the pancreas senses this and releases insulin into the bloodstream to help bring that level back down. Yes. All right. Okay. So remember, this is the key to open up, okay, that cell receptor site so that the glucose, even the potassium, okay, can enter inside the cell, okay? But for example, in the case of a patient with type 1 DM, what is the problem? There is a very little to no insulin production at all. Okay, so meaning who will open up the insulin cell, insulin cell receptor sites? All right, if there is a very little to no insulin production at all, especially no insulin production at all. All right, so meaning okay, the glucose will stay into the bloodstream, even the potassium, especially, okay, in the case of a patient with type 1 TM, right? Okay, so that is why in emergency situation like hyperkalemia, take note of that one, we give insulin, okay, with glucose IV to help shift potassium back into the cells and prevent what? Cardiac complication. All right, take note of that one. Next. Okay. All right, so what is this? What is this, my dear future yes RNs? Anyone? Okay, so based on okay, the picture here, what is the major risk factor of diabetes mellitus? Anyone? That yes, your obesity. Okay, as you can see in the slide, this comes straight from Saunders, which means is a hot and clicks concept. Okay, so aside from its genetics, yes, obesity. Take note of that one, right? You'll often see it in, a health teaching or even in the case-based scenarios. Okay, so for example, okay, you might encounter which client is most at risk for developing type 2 diabetes. All right. And one of the top answers will be always be the overweight client with, oh, abdominal fat. Yes or no? Teen, guilty, ha? Next topic, please. Okay, teen. Okay, what will happen? Okay, if someone is obese, all right? What will happen if someone is obese? Okay, so there is what we call an excess amount of body fat. Okay, especially around the abdomen. All right, and this makes the body cells resistant to insulin. All right, so think back to our lock and key method, the concept of our insulin earlier in obesity. It's like, okay, the locks on the cells are jammed or rusted. All right, so even if the pancreas is still producing insulin, the insulin cannot do its job properly because, yes, very good, the cells won't respond. All right. And that condition is what we call insulin resistance. All right. And that's one of the biggest reasons why clients develop type 2 DM. All right. Okay. Next. Next topic, Tian. Obesity. Obesity. All right, next. Okay, so now let's put everything together and compare the two main types of your diabetes mellitus, the type 1 and type 2. Okay, so this comparison right here is one of the most commonly tested tables in the NCLEX. So make sure this becomes, yes, second nature. So let's begin with type 1 DM, okay? And what is the cause? Anyone here? You can type your answer here in our chat box. What is the cause of your type 1? Okay, your type 1 is anyone? Do not be shy. Okay, type your answer here in our chat box. The cause of your type 1 is type 1. Type 1, when we talk about your type 1, okay, that is what? That is genetics. Okay, aside from genetics, okay, your type 1 is an autoimmune disease. All right, take note of this one, autoimmune. Okay, autoimmune, right? Okay. Take note of that one. This one is autoimmune, so meaning the body's immune system mistakenly attacks and destroys what? The beta cells in the pancreas that produce insulin. So that is why there is a very little, okay, there is a very little to no insulin production at all. Take note of that one, at all. All right. Okay. So how about the onset? How about the onset? Okay. How about the onset of your type 1? Okay. All right. I'll type your answer here in our chat box. Okay, it is considered as yes. Okay, juvenile onset. So meaning children, teens, young adults, but it can happen at any age. All right. Okay, so juvenile, juvenile onset. Okay, if Alex would ask you, okay, so what is the risk fact? What are the risk factors? Anyone? Risk factors? Okay, anyone here? Okay, risk factors. Okay. Type your answer here in our chat box. Okay, risk factors. Risk factors for your type 1 anyone. Risk factors. Okay, it's genetics. Very good. Genetics, autoimmune. Yes. All right. And for the management, since the body is not okay, producing enough insulin, there's a very little to no insulin production at all. So meaning the body needs insulin. Yes. All right. The pancreas cannot make insulin at all. All right. So that is why you'll often see, okay, it called what? Okay, your IDDM or insulin dependent diabetes mellitus. All right, take note of that one. Now let's look, okay, at the type 2 diabetes, which is, yes, which is much more common, especially, okay, yes, Filipinos, right? Okay. Hello, Sam, hereditary. Yes, very good. Hi, honey. Honey MG is watching. Okay, so what is the cause of your type 2 DM? Anyone? Okay, what is the cause? Uy, what is the cause? Anyone? Okay, so this type is strongly linked with what? What is the cause? Anyone? What is the cause? What is the cause here? Okay. In type 2 diabetes, the pancreas still makes insulin, right? Okay, but the cells do not respond properly. Okay, one of the most common factor is obesity. Okay, we call that what we call insulin resistance. Okay, there is what we call insulin resistance. Okay, insulin resistance. Take note of that one, right? Okay, how about for the onset? Anyone? How about for the onset? Okay, how about for the onset? Anyone? Okay, type your answer here in our chat box. For the onset, onset is okay. Anyone? Oh, do not be shy. Onset is all right. Mm-hmm. Oh, what happened? Okay. So someone is annotating on my screen. Hold on. Let me just okay, remove that. Okay, hold on. All right. Okay. How about for the onset? Okay. Actually, when you read Saunders or other medical surgical nursing books now, so the onset is 30 years old and above. Okay, 30 years old, 30 years old and above. Okay, but here in the Philippines, no. Okay, 20s, mid 20s, no. Okay, they're suffering from type 2 diabetes mellitus, right? Okay. Still, it's genetics. Okay, most of your endocrine disorders, genetics, autoimmune, right? Okay, take note of that one. How about for the risk factors? How about for the risk factors? Risk factors. Okay, so this type is strongly linked to obesity. Okay, obesity. What else? Mm-hmm. Poor diet, sedentary lifestyle. Okay, poor diet. Okay, lack of exercise, sedentary. Sedentary lifestyle or lack of exercise. So, what happens inside our body? Okay, blood sugar keeps rising, high glucose weakens the immune system and damages the blood vessels, right? And then eventually, this leads to complication. All right, so like, okay, so the patient might suffer from poor wound healing, frequent infection, okay, vision loss, and kidney disease. All right. Okay. Yes, the chronic complication. But later, our topic is all about acute complications. All right. So meaning this is adult onset yin. Okay. The onset, yes, adult onset type. Okay. Take note of that one. All right. Very good. Next. Okay. So can you please give me one sec? Let me just remove this. Hold on. Let me just remove this annotation. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Good. Okay. All right. So now let's talk about one of the most tested distinction in the NCLEX, the difference between a high blood sugar and low blood sugar. Okay. And which one the nurse, okay, should prioritize or treat first. Okay. So let's start with high blood sugar or what we call your hyperglycemia. Okay. So your high blood sugar is your hyperglycemia. And anyone here, okay, what is the normal blood sugar? What is the normal blood sugar? The normal blood sugar is, okay, type your answer here in our chat box. Is it 80 to 120? Okay, so let's use 70 to 110. All right, let's use 70 to 110. Okay, milligram per deciliter. All right, so when we talk about of your hyperglycemia, so yes, that is beyond 110. All right, take note of that one. All right, okay, hyperglycemia. Okay, so we have here what we call the classic three P's. All right, so what are those? The classic three P's or the hallmark of your hyperglycemia. Can you still remember your three P's? Okay, your three P's. That's your, okay, very good. Your polyuria, okay, urinating a lot, frequent urination, polydipsia, very good. Your polydipsia, okay, so meaning the patient, yes, excessive thirst, okay, and polyphagia. Okay, polyphagia is what? Okay, constant hunger. Okay, constant hunger. Okay, and of course, remember this: hot and dry, the sugar is high. Hot and dry, okay, the sugar is high. Take note of that one. So the client will have dry mouth, what else? Flush skin, there's a blurring of vision, and of course, the patient might feel tired or weak. Okay, and this one is more dangerous and more urgent. Okay, okay, in NCLEX. Okay, but if you encounter that, there's hypoglycemia on the option, okay, between hyperglycemia and hypoglycemia, your priority would be your hypoglycemia because a hypogly brain will die. You already know that one, right? Okay, right. So these are the classic or the hallmark signs of your hyperglycemia. Now, let's proceed to your low sugar. Okay, but mentioned that yes, if you compare, okay, this hyper and hypoglycemia, our priority is your hypoglycemia. Okay, because a hypogly brain, okay, will die. Yes or no? Yes. All right. So meaning the blood sugar is less than 70 milligram per deciliter. Okay. This one is your priority. Okay. Because the brain depends on glucose. And yes, okay, as and that's the only energy source, right? So when the sugar drops too low, the brain starts to shut down. That is why a hypoglycemic brain will die. All right, take note of that one. Okay, so if hot and dry, the sugar is high. Okay, so what is our memory cue here? Okay, cold and clammy. Okay, needs some candy. Okay, cold and clammy. Okay, needs some candy. All right, take note of. Okay, that one. So that means when the client looks pale, what else? Sweaty. All right, what else? Okay, shaky, right? Anxious. All right, there's headache, right? The patient is irritable. There's weakness, no? Okay, so meaning that signals hypoglycemia. Take note of that one. Okay, next. All right, so let's take a look at this one. Okay, so we have here okay, the causes. Okay, so let's talk about of the causes of your hyperglycemia. We have here your S's, all right? Okay, so first we have here, okay, of course, okay, what are the common causes here? Okay, there is, okay, the sugar is high. Yes. All right, the sugar is high, so meaning it's above the normal range. Okay, the skin is hot and dry. Okay, the skin is hot and dry. Okay, so what else? What else? Okay, so you will notice, especially in chronic diabetes mellitus. No, there's a slow wound healing. Okay, slow wound healing. All right. And of course, you will notice signs of dehydration. Okay, signs of dehydration. All right, like yes, okay, the patient is thirsty, the patient is peeing a lot. Okay, so in general, yes, okay, we all know that one of the most common causes, all right, so we have here the infection, okay, like sepsis now. Okay, it can be due to stress. Okay, stress, sepsis, all right, or infection, or yes, it can be skipping of insulin doses or taking steroid. Yes, okay. Of course, if NCLEX would ask you, okay, in general, the treatment would be insulin. All right. Okay. The treatment would be insulin. All right. So this is what brings, okay, the blood sugar down and prevents complication like DKA or HH&S. All right. So now here's where it gets critical. Hypoglycemia. Okay. A hypoglycemic brain will die. Take note of that one. All right. So what are the common causes? Anyone? Letter E stands for exercise. All right. Too much activity without any food, right? Yes. Okay. What else? Alcohol intake. All right. Especially on an empty stomach, no? And of course, take note of this one, insulin, okay, during peak times. All right. So that is why, okay, during peak times okay, of course, it depends on what type of insulin, right? Okay. We give foods. Yes, we give food. All right. Take note of that one. Okay. So if both a high and a low sugar scenario are given, always treat again low sugar first. That is your priority. Okay, that is your priority, your hypoglycemia. Take note of that one. And Plex loves to ask about this. Okay, and of course, for the management of your hypoglycemia, very important to check, okay, to check for the level of consciousness of your patient. No, if your patient is awake, okay, what is our management here? Okay, if our patient is awake, okay, what is the management? Anyone, type your answer here in our chat box. All right. Mm-hmm. Okay. Anyone? Okay. If the patient is awake, okay. Very important too. Yes. Okay. Ask to eat. No. Ask the patient to eat. Okay. Ask the patient to eat. All right. Simple sugars, or we can give a quick acting carbohydrate like juice, regular soda, crackers, or low fat milk. Okay. Can we give peanut butter? Anyone? Can we give peanut butter? Okay. All right. Can we give peanut butter? No. How about full fat milk? Full fat milk? No. All right. So those digest too slow and delay sugar correction. We need simple sugar or quick acting carbohydrate like juice, candies, regular soda, crackers, something like that. All right. But if the patient is asleep. All right. Your patient is okay, unconscious, okay, asleep. What is the management? Okay, what is the management? Mm-hmm. Okay, stab them with, uh, very good. Stab them with, okay, with D50. Very good. Stab them with D50. All right. So very important to check the level of consciousness of your patient. Okay. If your patient is semi-conscious, we cannot give food. All right. Yes. Okay. If the patient is semi-conscious, we cannot give food or anything. Okay, sa bibig. Yes or no? Okay, at risk for aspiration. Take note of that one. All right. Okay. Okay. So now let's move to the management. Okay. All right, so let's talk about the diet. So when it comes to the diabetes management, diet is one of the most powerful and teachable tools our clients have. Okay, so for diabetic clients, the diet should be what? What is the diet? Okay, anyone? What is the diet? Okay. Oh, what is that DM diet floor? What is a DM diet? Anyone? Are you a member of the LCIF? LCIF group. Okay, it should be low carb. Okay, low carbohydrate. Okay, especially the simple sugars that raise blood sugar too quickly. If Atlas would ask you, it should be low carb. Okay, so take note of that one. Okay, what are the foods na okay that the patient will avoid? Okay, simple sugar like simple sugar. Okay, like juice, okay, soda, okay, candies, pastries, desserts, okay. So white, okay, cut out this white, like white breads. You love eating white rice, right? Okay, white pasta. Okay, very important to teach to the patient. Okay, 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 shift to what? Okay, shift to brown. Okay, you love brown. Okay, shift to brown. Okay, cut out the whites and shift to brown. All right, so these are your okay, wheat bread. Okay, what else? The whole grain cereals, oatmeals, what else? Beans. All right, peanut butter. Yes, okay, your fibers. Okay, your fibers. Okay, take note of that one. Yes, Quaker Oats. Okay, Silent, you love Quaker Oats? Okay, because fiber slows glucose absorption and keeps blood sugar stable. All right. Okay, so again, the diet should be low carb, avoid simple sugar. Okay, cut out the white. Okay, white bread, white rice, pasta. Okay, shift to brown. All right, so these are your fibers. All right. Okay, now let's focus on the diabetic fit. All right. So aside from the diet, this is another trending topic that you might encounter on the NCLEX, right? Okay, the diabetic foot care. Okay, we call this what? We call this okay, delicious feast for bacteria. Because one small wound or blister on a diabetic's foot can turn okay into a serious infection, right? Or even amputation if not managed correctly. Yes or no? Yes. So as nurses, what is our main goal? What is our main goal as nurses? Okay, huy. What is our main goal? It's very, very simple but life-saving. Okay, to keep the feet clean. Okay, keep the feet okay clean. What else? Okay, dry and injury free. Take note of that one. Okay, so we have here mnemonics. Okay, what to avoid? Okay, what to avoid? Okay, letter F. We have here what? We have here your okay flip-flops. Okay, your flip-flops. Okay. Ayan. Similar to flip-flops. Okay, okay, high heels. Okay, the use of nylon socks, right? Okay, so this increase the risk for cuts. Okay, if it's flip-flops, all right, same as high heels, right? Okay, ayan. So very important to teach the client to use clothes, well-fitting shoes, and it should be soft cotton, not nylon socks. All right. Okay. Next, we have here over the counter. Yes. OTC, over the counter. Okay. Corn or callus removers. Okay. Corn or callus removers. All right. Okay. So why? We never use them. Ah. Okay. Take note of that one. Okay. So that can damage the skin and lead to infection. All right. And very important to instruct the client, okay, to see what? To see podiatrist for the proper foot care. Okay. What else? Overly hot, okay, objects. Okay, overly hot objects, like for example, hot baths, heating pads, or okay, hot compress, something like that. All right, and very important to remember, diabetic clients often have what we call neuropathy. Okay, so meaning there is what we call poor sensation. So meaning the client may not feel the burn until it's too late. Okay, that could lead to injury. Yes or no? Yes. Okay, and very important to avoid what? Avoid injury. Okay? Toe injury. Toe injury. Okay? You might encounter the actual NCLEX. Okay? So to teach the client to clip, okay, toenails straight. Okay? Cut straight ha. Straight across. Okay? Oo, not curve. Okay, and avoid, okay, digging into the sides of the nails to prevent wounds. Here in the Philippines, it's, I don't know, what do you call this? Ingrown tanga. Kaya today. Who it should be? Okay, straight across. No curve, no angles. Okay, avoid digging into the side of the nails to prevent wounds, all right, or injury. Okay, what else? Okay, is it correct? Okay, is it correct to teach to your patient, no, to inspect the feet weekly? Mm-hmm. Is it correct? Inspect the feet weekly. Yes or no? Is it correct? Inspect the feet weekly. Yes or no? Weekly, correct? Okay. It should be monthly. Hi, anong monthly? Ay, okay, inspect the feet. Okay, it's not weekly. It should be daily. Okay, inspect the feet daily. All right, not weekly. Take note of that one. Okay, what else? Okay, so when selecting socks. Okay, when selecting socks, no, it should be soft. Okay, soft cotton. Okay, not nylon. All right, not nylon. Right? What else? Okay, so trimmed, nails trimmed straight across, not an angle, no callus removal or shaving. Okay, and very important. Okay, what are you going to report? Instruct the patient to report what? Okay, report. Instruct the patient to report what? Report non-healing wounds. All right, take note of that one. Okay, instruct the patient to report non-healing wounds, ha? Magkaka-anxiety yung manicurista pag di na, oo, ha? Very good. Miss Sale, all right? Yes, anxiety pa nga yung mga manicurista dyan. All right, okay, so that is our diabetic feet. Okay, now, all right, okay. Okay, so let's dive into one of the most commonly tested diabetic emergencies on the NCLEX, your DKA, or the diabetic ketoacidosis, and your HH&S. All right, it's a promise. If team mentioned that this is a trending case study, you might encounter this. All right, so first we have here your DKA. Okay. So when we talk about of your DKA, what is this? This is okay, your diabetic ketoacidosis. All right, take note of that one. And this is a type 1 diabetes emergency. Okay, so this is type 1 diabetes emergency. Okay, your type 1 diabetes emergency. So meaning it can turn fatal if it's not managed quickly and correctly. Yes or no? Yes. Okay, so uh let's use this acronym DKA, all right? Okay, for you to yes, remember it na. Okay, DKA, all right, because each letters now stands for a hallmark or a classic sign. All right? So letter D, okay? So D, Okay, think of dry. Okay, dry and high sugar. Okay, think of dry and high sugar. Okay, so because the clients are severely dehydrated. Okay, so think hot, dry skin, and their blood sugar levels range from what? Range from 250 to 500. Okay, 250 to 500 milligram per deciliter or even higher. Okay, so whenever you see very thirsty, okay, very dry, high blood sugar, okay, in a question, okay, your brain should scream DKA, but another important thing that you're going to check, all right, is what? Okay, the laboratory. The laboratory, okay? All right? So very important to check for letter K. What is that? What is that letter K? The letter K stands for ketones. No, so this one is classic for your DKA. All right, because in HH and S, okay, so there's no presence of ketones. Okay, if there's a very high sugar, very high blood sugar, so meaning plus, okay, in the laboratory, there is a presence of ketone positive. All right, so that clearly suggests what? DKA, and it's, yes, a medical emergency, right? Okay, so there is a process of ketones. What else? There's Cosmos respiration. Okay, there's Cosmos respiration. Okay, take note of that one. So they describe this as rapid, what else? Deep breathing with fruity odor. Okay, fruity odor. So that signals, uy, presence of ketones. Fruity breath odor, ha? Okay, fruity breath odor. Okay, classic to your DKA because of the presence of ketones. All right. Okay, what else? What else? Okay, add this. Okay, we also have a problem in the electrolyte. Okay, particularly the potassium. Why? Okay, uy, is it high or low? Is it high or okay? Is it high or low? Anyone? Okay, we're expecting that the potassium is it high or low? Huy, type your answer. Yes, high potassium. Why there is hyperkalemia? Oh, again, the problem in the type 1, there is a very little to no insulin production at all. Okay, and who will open up the cell? All right. Right? Okay. The insulin serves as the key. All right. If the case is there is no little, okay, there's a very little to no insulin production, okay, no one will open. Okay, so that is why, okay, the potassium, even the glucose, stays into the bloodstream. That is why there is hyperkalemia. Yes or no? Yes. Okay, and very important, we all know that, uh, okay, this will lead to what? Okay, arrhythmia, deadly arrhythmia. Yes, all right. Okay, and due to the presence of ketones, due to the presence of ketone, there is letter A. There is letter A. What is the letter A? Abdominal pain. Okay, abdominal pain. Okay, another letter A, another letter A. What is that? Another letter A. There is acidosis. Okay, acidosis. Okay, specifically metabolic because your diabetes mellitus is a metabolic disorder. Okay, so okay, this is what makes the DKA okay life-threatening. There is metabolic acidosis. Okay, so when that happens, the body tries to compensate by breathing faster. So that is why okay you see Cosmos respiration, right? Yes. Okay. Take note of this one. Due to the presence of ketones, there is abdominal pain. There is acidosis and Cosmos respiration. That is classic to to your DKA. All right. Take note of that one. Now, let's proceed to your H and S or the H and K. All right. Take note of that one. Okay. Sige pa. When we talk about of your H and S, this stands okay for your hyperglycemic hyperosmolar non-ketotic syndrome. Non-ketotic syndrome. So meaning there's no presence of ketones here. Okay, take note of that one. And this one usually happens in what? Type 2, type 2 DM. Of course, it is often triggered by the same factors as your DKA, just like your infection, dehydration, or even missed oral medications or illness. All right. So we have here classic. Okay, acronym ha. Let's break it down using this acronym HHNS. Okay, take note that your HHNS, it has the highest sugar. It has the highest sugar of actually, okay, over 600, over 600 milligram per deciliter. Uy, what will happen? If there's a very, very high sugar, uy, there is a higher fluid loss. Okay, a higher fluid loss. Yes or no? Yes. Take note of that one. The client experienced, okay, extreme dehydration because of what? Because of the massive amount of sugar in the blood. Okay, in the blood. Okay, it pulls the fluid out of the cells. Okay, take note of that one, and that is a process of osmotic diuresis, right? Okay, okay, higher fluid loss. Next, okay, another letter H. Okay, uy, head changes. Head changes. What does it mean, tin? Uy, what does it mean? There's what? Neuro symptoms. Okay, think of your neuro symptoms here. Okay, because H and S affects the brain. Okay, what are those? Confusion, drowsiness, there's blurred vision, or even seizure. So that's because the brain shrinks slightly, okay, okay, due to dehydration. Take note of that one. Okay. What else? What else? Is there okay, question. Is there abdominal pain here? Is there an abdominal pain here? Abdominal pain present here? Yes or no? Abdominal pain? Yes or no? Yes or no? Abdominal pain? Okay, why? What's the rationale? Because there is no presence of ketones. So meaning no, okay, presence of ketones. Okay, no abdominal pain. What else? Aside from no abdominal pain, okay, okay, all right. Aside from no abdominal pain, okay, is there acidosis problem here? Is there a metabolic acidosis here? Okay, is there a metabolic acidosis here? Anyone? Metabolic acidosis? Yes or no? Metabolic acidosis? Yes or no? No metabolic. No metabolic acidosis because there's no presence of ketones here. Okay, no Cosmos respiration palatin. Yes or no? Walang Cosmos respiration, no acid buildup, no fruity breath because there is no presence of ketone. Okay, no Cosmol. All right, take note of that one ha. No metabolic acidosis. All right, so that is why it is called non-ketotic syndrome. That's the difference between the two. So meaning the presence of ketone, okay, is of course, yun yung pagkakakilanlan niya. Yes or no? Yes. All right. Okay. So in general, what is our management here? Okay, anyone? Okay, if you encounter scenario or case on your actual NCLEX, what is your priority? What is your priority? Okay, what is your priority? Okay, priority management. Okay, is it giving insulin or fluid? Okay, anyone? Okay, type your answer here in our chat box. What is your priority? What is your priority? Okay, what is your priority here? Anyone? How about the others? How about the others? Type your answer here in our chat box. Okay. All right. How about the others? Oh, do not be shy. Okay, do not be shy. What is our management here? Okay. All right. So I'm checking your answers here in our chat box. Okay, Facebook and Zoom. Okay. All right. Okay, fluid. How about the others? Okay, why fluid? Why fluid? Why fluid? Very important to start IV fluids first. Okay, it should be IV fluids, right? Start IV fluids first po. Okay, to correct dehydration. Okay, because take a look at the blood sugar. For both, no, sobrang taas, guys, no? Especially in the HH and S. There is, yes, extreme dehydration. All right. Okay. And very important to think of the vital organs that will lead to what? Diba? Where, of course, the patient is at risk. Okay. At shock. Okay. At risk yan ng shock. Right? Okay. Right. So IV fluids po. Okay. And then what? And then, okay. How about for the insulin? Can we give, okay, a glargine? Okay. Can we give glargine po? Okay. Glargine insulin. Okay. It should be what? It should be It should be what? Regular insulin. It should be a regular insulin. IV. Okay. Because your glargine, okay, because your glargine po is a long acting. Take note, both conditions, your DKA and your HHNS, acute complication. If it's acute, so meaning that is your priority, we cannot delay the management. Okay, it should be mabilisan ng management. Kailangan i-epekto agad, guys, ha? And this is the only insulin that can be given via IV, yes or no? Yes. All right. And that's how you separate these two on the NCLEX Like a Pro. All right. Okay. Do you have any question? Priorities? Very important, you know how to prioritize, ha? Okay, sige. Okay. Do you have any question? Okay. Ayan. So these are the difference between your DKA and your HHNS for your reference. Okay, hold on. All right. So thank you so much for joining me tonight, my dear future ESRNs. We just finished another Power Pack and Flex session. And if you're loving, how clear and practical our discussions are, imagine, okay, what it's like inside the full program of iPass. All right. So our iPass NCLEX review, cycle 19 is now ongoing. So this means you can still catch up and be part of our newest batch for future passers. Okay, batch of our future passers. Okay, so you'll be learning from our high caliber, okay, USRN educator who will guide you from day one until your big exam day. Okay, yes, with personalized coaching. Okay, and of course, updated next generation strategies and real NCLEX style practice. So if you're serious about your goal to become, yes, USRN, okay, this year, 2026, enroll now, okay? Enroll now and be part of iPass Cycle 19, okay? Once again, this is Teen from iPass Processing reminding you, okay? With the right mentor, the right training, and the right mindset, you can pass the NCLEX in 85 question because you're made for this. Okay, see you in class and good night, future USRNs. Bye for now. God bless everyone.